Alright, wonderful viewers, happy to have you again. This is Learn Maths TV, your channel. We have a question again, and that question is on subject of the formula. We have to make P the subject, of course. Let me write it well. We have to make P the subject of the formula, and of course we have M is equal to WP plus 1 over 3 YP squared. Looking at this question, it looks somehow cumbersome. But look, if you want to make P subject of relation and then go through this way, you definitely fail it. So we are going to compare this with the equation that gave rise to the quadratic formula, which of course is called today almighty formula. So I'm going to give you this hint. Let's take, for instance, we have, watch, we have A plus B plus C equal to 0. Let's assume I decided to add x squared and x here. You see this simple equation? It is this simple equation that gave rise to the quadratic formula. So all we're going to do is to compare this equation with the equation we have, and then we will obtain our solution. Good. Then all I'm going to do now, I am going to rearrange this simple equation. How am I going to rearrange it? Permit me to write this one first. So I'm going to write 1 over 3 yp squared. Of course, that's plus here. I put my plus. The next thing is to pick this, and I'll write wp. The next thing is this m crossing over the equal sign becomes minus m. Any number that is positive that crosses the equal sign, of course, changes sign. So our m becomes minus m. Now, looking at this now, permit me now to compare it with this equation written here. So I'll be having ax squared plus bx plus c. Now, looking at this and this, you find out that they look so similar. So we're going to use this to obtain our solution. But then, remember that we made x the subject of the relation through this equation to obtain the quadratic formula, which is of course minus b plus minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. This is our almighty formula. So if this gave rise to this, it then means that if we make P the subject of the relation here, we can also obtain our answer without wasting time. So let's go. If plus b turned to minus b here, it means that our plus w here will equally be minus w. Good. If that is true, we have plus and minus, so I will put my plus and minus. Of course, we have square roots, so I will put my square root. We are comparing this to this. So we have b squared, and of course the coefficient of x is b. If I say coefficient, what do I mean? Watch. If I write 2a, 2 is the coefficient of a, which means that 2 is attached to a. Watch me again. If I write 3bc, and you ask, what is the coefficient of c? The coefficient of c is 3b, because 3b is attached to c. Watch again. If I say 1 over 2m n, and you ask what's the coefficient of n? The coefficient of n is 1 over 2m. This becomes the coefficient of n. So if this is true, then it simply means that if we have b squared here, remember that the coefficient of x is b, so we obtain b squared. If we obtain b squared here, it means that this w will also be w squared. Then we have minus here, we have a minus, we have 4 here, then we're going to have our 4. Then look at here, this is a, and of course our a is the coefficient of x squared. Here, our coefficient of b squared is 1 over 3y. So we're going to put it here, which is 1 over 3y. That's where we're going to put it. Now, the last number here, alphabet we have here is C, and of course here is C. So coming here is minus M, and of course we're going to put it here to be minus M. All over, because we have all over here, so we have 2a, we're going to put our 2, but not a here, because a is the coefficient of x squared, and of course our coefficient of b squared is 1 over 3y. So we're going to substitute, it's going to be 1 over 3y. So what else are we going to do? The next thing we're going to do is that we're going to say P is equal to, this is minus W, so I put it down, minus W, we have plus and minus, I'm putting my plus and minus, and I have my square roots. Now this is w squared, of course. I put it down, w squared. Here is our minus. Remember, minus times minus is plus. We have minus times minus, so it's going to be plus. So what else are we going to do? 4 times 1 is 4 all over 3. So we have 4 over 3. I'll put 4 over 3 here. Here we have y times m. Y times m here is ym. But we're not going to write ym, we're going to write my. Y times m is not going to be ym, it's going to be my. So I'll put my. And that's it. So all over 2 times 1, 2 all over 3. So we're having 2 over 3. Of course, there's y here and there's y here. So looking at this, we have succeeded in making P the subject of the relation, and that's the answer to this question. So you see that we are able to solve this particular problem by comparing what was given to the quadratic, to the equation that gave rise to the quadratic formula. Thank you, my wonderful viewers. I still remember my humble self, Mr. Big Fish. Of course, this is LearnMaths TV. Always like, share, and subscribe. Please, if you enjoy the way we solve this, or you have a complaint to lay, please put it down in the comment section. I will visit it and ensure that you're satisfied. Thank you, and see you some other time.